Hello there everyone, welcome back to another pocket project. So today I'm going to tackle the pocket that I want to make in a slightly different way. I've been doing a fair bit of collaging and I suddenly got to thinking about all my sticky tapes. So I've got my washi tapes and I've got all of these ribbon tapes. So there's loads of those. I've got all of these fancy stickers, which again I really need to be using up. And I've also got these. So these, and I'm not affiliated with this company. This was from Digital Inspirations on Etsy, and she does printable washi tapes. So I've printed some off. Well, I purchased some to start with, and then I printed some off onto sticky back paper. So I've got these to use as well, and this one was printed on white sticky back, and the same one again but printed onto craft sticky back paper, so it gives a different effect. But some really pretty ones, and at the moment she's got a sale on until the end of September, beginning of October. 1st of October I think it runs out. So I've got all of those to play with, so I need to cut those out ready. And I also printed some other digital papers from other designers, again onto the sticky back paper. It's a full sheet, it's not labels. So if I just peel a bit back so you can see, look, there's the whole sticky sheet there. So I'm going to cut those down into strips. So I've tried to use kind of all over patterns that I felt that I could cut out into strips, and I can either cut them horizontally or vertically. So I need to go off and go and cut these out and decide which ones I'm actually going to use, because now I've given myself too many options as per usual. I just wanted to show you my thought process for cutting up one of the papers. So for this one, obviously it needs to be cut vertically because of the direction of the pattern. So I thought that that would make a good strip. So we'll cut that bit off there. And then when I looked at the next part, I could cut down there. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll cut down that bit down there so that I've got that flower in. And then we'll have one of the bugs fully there. So that's that one. And I don't want to cut into this bug really, and I don't want to cut into that, so I'm going to slice down sort of in between. That gives me several quite wide strips, so I've got those ready to go. Then for this paper, I think I'm going to cut it vertically, and I'll do a variety of different widths of strips, but trying to keep some whole flowers in there as well as half flowers. And then this one has got a little tiny sunflower there, so I think I'm going to chop that up to be a narrow strip. So now I've got a variety of different widths of washi tapes. So yeah, I think I'm about to get started on the project. So I've chosen a long envelope here with a window in. Doesn't matter what size you use, so I'm not going to measure it for you, but I only want this front piece. I don't want the back of the envelope, so I'm just going to chop off around all four sides, right close to the folded sides of the envelope. Right, so I'm only cutting off really thin little strips. So I'm left with these two pieces here, and I don't need that piece. That's the back side. Now I saw this originally on Liz at the Paper Project. Really liked it, really excited by it. So we're going to be utilising the window as part of our pocket. So I'm going to fold this bottom piece up, and where the window starts here and where it finishes here, I want them to line up. So we basically will have made a little pocket here that has got a window on the front as well as on the back, and then I would fold this piece down to form a flap. Now I might chop this down a bit because then there's a bit of a distance between the top of the flap, and I don't know if I want it quite that big, so I'm just going to fold that down a little bit further. And I'm going to chop off about this much, that much, so that it makes it about the right size then. So that it now will do that. Okay, yeah, liking that, that's about the right size. So before I glue anything in position, I'm going to use those washi tapes that I've created, and some other stickers if I sort of deem it necessary, to cover over the whole of this piece. So yeah, I'm going to go and choose and arrange my stickers on here in the order that I'd like. So I'll be back in a moment to show you how I'm going to position them. Now, I'm not a great lover of washi tape because I don't find it particularly sticky, so, you know, as in a permanent kind of sticky. So I'm just going to put some stick glue on there. Same again in that bit. Now I've got a tiny little gap there, so I've got my peel-offs, so I could put a little piece of the peel-offs on there to just fill in that gap. And now I can flip it over and I can trim off all the excess bits overhanging the edge. Yeah, overhanging slightly over the edge of the envelope. And I'm going to just fold that over the top, and it now gives that edge a little bit of extra strength. And the other thing that I might do is, because I've got this little piece of peel off left, might as well use it up, eh? And now I can glue down that pocket. Fold over that top flap. So that I can put in a journaling card or a photograph. And if it's double-sided, then I'll have a picture showing through on the other window as well. And then I can put some string around that. Yeah, quite like that. Your second pocket project for today is I'm going to use this envelope here. I need to stick down the flap, and I'm going to cut these strips out, which are printed again on the sticky back paper, and then I'm going to attach them to the front and the back of this envelope. So I'm going to go off and go and do that, and I'll see you back here in a sec. I've cut out all my strips, I've juggled them up a little bit. They've all come from the same palette, so they should all blend together well. I'm going to start on the back, I think, and I'm just going to pick up the top one. Peel off the sticker and lay it down. Then I'm going to pick up the second one. And I'm going to step it by about sort of, what, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And then the next one. So these are being chosen at random. And again, I'm just going to step it. And I'm going to carry on in that fashion until I've covered this side. And then these bits that I chop off from up here, I'll stick them down here in the gaps. And then I'm just going to fill the gaps. Again, at random. Trimmed off the excess, I've flipped it over, and I'm going to now continue covering the front in exactly the same fashion and butting it up next to the window envelope. So let's go. So I've put all my strips on, front and back, and I've trimmed off all the excess. Next thing I need to do is I need to open up the top of the envelope here, so that will then form the pocket. And I'm also going to cut it straighter than that. And then I'm going to use my tag punch, I want the large one, to punch off that top corner and that top corner. I might even take that angle just a little bit further, so let's use that as a guide. That's better. And then I can fold this top edge back. I've got some leftover paper, so I'm going to put that on the back piece there. So all of that back part is then covered, and then I can trim off the excess. And I've got this beautiful border sticker here. Which I'm going to stick on the bit that I've folded down. Flip it up and trim off that excess there. And there. Just going to put a tiny dot of glue on the back side of that flap and just stick it down just a little. just to keep it held in place. Punch a hole, and then I can add some seam binding to that punched hole, and I've got myself a nice tag shaped envelope, fully decorated on the front and on the back, and I've got a window so that when I put something inside of that, then that will show through the window as well. So those are my 2 pocket projects for today using window envelopes. I hope you've been inspired, and I'll see you all again on the next video, which will be on Tuesday, for some more pockets. See you then. Bye for now. Bye.